Today we were talking about how to tell if something is an even number or an odd number. And there are actually a couple ways that we can try and figure this out. So if you start with a number like 6 and you want to know if it's even or odd, one way to do that is to give yourself some dots, and if you're organized you can put them in order, but it doesn't really matter, and it's actually good for kids to see shapes that are not in perfect straight lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just did a messy on purpose. Okay, so if you take your 6 dots and you imagine that everybody needs a partner, or all the numbers need a little buddy, you can start looping them together. And then, if nobody is left out, or is the odd man out, as we say, then your number is even, because there's nobody left over. If you have a number that ends up having somebody left out, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you actually do have an odd number. You have an odd man out. Another way that we looked at this is thinking about if you were making teams. So if you had maybe 9 kids trying to play a sport together, you're dividing them into 2 teams. Team A, they're amazing. Team B, they're brilliant. You'd send one kid over to Team A, and kid number 2 to Team B, kid number 3 to Team A, kid number 4 to Team B, kid number 5 to Team A, kid number 6 to Team B, 7 to Team A, 8 to Team B, and 9 to Team A. But you see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids on Team A, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids on Team B. That wouldn't be a very fair basketball game. So it's actually an odd number. It's not an even match. This also, we're hoping, reminds kids of the doubles facts that they spent a long time learning in first grade. So with the doubles facts, any number that is even, like 2, if you were to divide it evenly, there would be 1 in each group, 1 on each team. Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I think I said it in a confusing way. If you had, let me think of a doubles fact. So you have 4 plus 4, which equals 8. Any answer to a doubles fact is automatically an even number, because if it's a doubles fact, your 2 numbers are the same thing, which means they're equal to each other, which means it's even. It would be a fair team. There's nobody left over on either side. It's an even number. Yeah, and that's one thing to think about. We're also discovering that there's a pattern. Any number that has a 0, a 2, 4, 6, or 8 in the ones place of a number is definitely even. And any number with a 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 in the ones place is definitely odd. These all make sense, I think, for most kids. If you have 2 things and you give 1 to you and 1 to me, and we both have 1, then it's fair. But if you also have 0 things and you give none of those things to me and none of those things to you, it's also fair because we both don't have anything. So that's one of the trickier ones. and it's a little harder for kids to understand because it's around a 0, but if nobody has any cookies and you don't get any and I don't get any, yeah, it's not ideal, but it is fair. So that's one thing to think about with that. And we'll be continuing with the doubles facts that we were talking about earlier. So we'll be continuing with that later on this week. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, have a great evening. Thank you for watching.